Hey everyone, welcome to our what are we on, January 17th edition of our weekly Ants team training. Got a good call on you guys, and I'm excited to be talking to you. Again, I'm always excited to be talking to you guys, but I'm especially excited, especially excited. Try to say that 10 times fast. But I'm really excited to be here with you guys again because we have a new incentive coming up. We are actually working on, many of you probably already started because it starts campaign 3 of this year. But we're working on this vacation incentive, just a trip to the Bahamas. And I'm still saying Bermuda, but a trip is a trip, so I don't really care where we're going as long as I'm not paying. But we're super excited about this incentive. We're tracking for it. We're tracking our recruits. We're doing recruiting events, and I love when there's a new incentive with Avon because everybody gets hype and we start doing more events. So let's see what we have here. You guys know the drill. As always, I want you guys to get going in the chat box below. Start typing in your wins for the week. So every week we do this. We share our things that we're celebrating for the week, what's happened between last week Tuesday and this week Tuesday that we're celebrating. And then everyone on the call, we all chime in and we celebrate and cheer you on. And as always, if you have questions, please type it in the chat box. You don't have to wait for the end of the call. Just type it in as we go, and as I'm talking, my squirrel brain will keep up and I'll be able to answer on the fly. So while you guys type in your wins for the week, I'm going to start scrolling through and see what we have to celebrate. Hey Chris, how are you? And welcome. Oh, and Jessica Z. I'm in Jessica Z back. And Milagros. Hey, Millie. How are you? Let's see. Oh, Jessica says she's excited about the Bahamas. I am excited too. It's going to be nice because I feel like when we go to come for work, so I think it's going to be nice to have more representatives coming and experiencing a trip. As I mentioned in the last call, and as I'm probably going to mention over and over again for the rest of my life, when I went to Tahiti, it was awesome, but I did miss everyone. It was like an Avon trip without it being an Avon trip. So this vacation to the Bahamas, not the Bermuda, is going to be a nice one. But today I have some things I'm going to share with you, and we're going to do a little bit of real talk. So you guys are going to have to bear with me. I'm going to share some of the reasons why I think this trip is going to be so great, other than the obvious reasons. You know, we're going to get to see each other and recap and space with each other and share ideas like we always do. And other than the fact that it's free and Avon's paying for the flight, the airfare, the hotel, the flight and the airfare is the same, but they're paying for the airfare, they're paying for the hotel, they're going to pay for food and drinks, and you know, who doesn't want to take a vacation that's not paid for by you? So Avon's going to be foot and bill for all that. They'll be treating us. Yes, it's going to be in the middle of the summer in New York. It gets pretty hot, so it's not hot, but it's like a muggy, oppressive kind of hot. But it will be nice to be in a tropical area with nice tropical breezes and oceans, other than, you know, aside from the gray seas that we usually have here in New York. So it's going to be an experience that's worth having, something that you're going to want to tell your children about, your friends and your family about, all the people that you meet, and it's going to inspire people. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that some of the reasons I think this trip is going to be a great thing, some of the reasons that I'm super excited about it and that I love it. I'm also going to share some personal backstory. So I was speaking with Millie the other day and we were talking about some stuff, and she encouraged me to share with you guys. So I blame Milagros for this, just a heads up. But let's see what we have here. So we have Lucy. Hey Lucy, how are you? Thanks Millie. We're getting like a weird light. Hang on. This guy needs to go. Isn't that better? Okay. All right, so we've got some wins for the week. So Jessica says that her win for the week is that she's got her momentum back. She slowed down after reaching her goals, and she shouldn't have, but she's learning every day. That is awesome, Jessica. It takes a lot, and it takes a strong person to kind of catch themselves and say, you know, I hit my goals, but I'm kind of slowing down. And it might be okay for you to kind of take a break, because a lot of times when you're working so intensely for your goals, if there are multiple goals back to back, then you might get burnt out. So sometimes you do need a short break in between to rest and recuperate so that you could come back for the next event with a vengeance. But you know, it's kind of cool that you recognize that and that you're ready to move on. So congratulations on getting your mojo back. Never thought I'd be saying that on an Avon call. Anyway, Tiffany Ingram. Hey girl, how are you? A lot of girls is laughing at me over here. Come on guys. So let me do some wins for the week with you as well. So I've been a little bit thrown off because the last couple of weekends, every time I prepare to go out for it snows or we have some strange weather. So I've been still trying to make sure that my my material throughout the week are prepared. And then especially with this incentive going on, I've been making phone calls. So it's winter here in New York. We have snow, and you don't want your business to just, you know, go on decline and fall off for 2 months every year. You do want to keep the momentum and keep pace. And that's why I love, beautiful segue, the new incentives that Avon has, where we're going to be earning the same commission on our online sales as well as our in-person sales. So even when the weather is gross and you can't go out to physically get in touch with your customers, it is still an opportunity for you to, you know, call, email, text, your Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and still promote and get in touch with customers while you're in work. But I was actually calling, following up with representatives. One of the things that I would like to do more of, again with the transparency, I do want to get more in touch with my team. I feel like we've sort of our team is expanding. We're all over the US, which I'm super excited about, and we keep getting new representatives join the team from all kinds of different states and neighborhoods that I cannot pronounce. But it's fun to see where so many different people are coming in from. And a lot of times they kind of come in droves. Like you might get like 5 new people sign up from West Virginia. So I'm like, what's happening? Is there a commercial that's broadcasting in that specific area? It's always nice to see the team expanding, but I feel like I haven't been communicating as I used to. I used to know but as we've been growing, you know, you just can't function on that level. So technology has been a big help up with that. A lot of the team members are connecting on Facebook, so we connect weekly through Facebook Live. But I do miss some of the interpersonal interactions that we used to have. So in the upcoming months, I'm going to be hoping to get some more events going where we can have an opportunity to meet in person more. So that's kind of what I've been working on, kind of brainstorming and trying to figure out what I could do, where I could meet, what kind of events I can have to meet with people more often. As you guys know, I tend to do a sip and shop every month, but because of the weather, I had to cancel the January sip and shop, and then just out of precaution, I canceled the February sip and shop. And I also have another conflicting event on that day, so it wasn't working. So I had to cancel those events, but as soon as the weather picks back up, I'll be meeting and getting back in touch with everyone for my events. But I love that my customers have been awesome in, you know, reaching out to me and still shopping, placing their orders online, and you know, they still stay in touch on Facebook and through text and even email. It's really nice. We talk about coming into business and having a relationship, and it really is, because people you meet, maybe you just meet them as customers, they become friends and almost like extended family. So I'm just excited about that, and I'm loving how not only my team but my business through my customer base has been growing. So that's sort of my win for the week. Let's see what you got here. Tiffany says, zone. Yay, we love to hear that. And she shared recruiting booklets and posts that she has 3 pending appointments for this week. Wow, girl, see? Sometimes you have to make that push to get out of your comfort zone, and it can be so scary. But I always say it's like, sometimes it's, there's a term that's like, your closest breakthrough is like just on the other side. Your success is just on the other side of the mountain that you have to climb, something like that. But sometimes you just have to get over the hump to that thing that you're trying to get to, and a lot of times the hindrance is your own fear. I'm sure Tiffany was nervous about that and had anxiety, but she pushed herself to do it anyway. So that's awesome for you, girl. Congratulations. And 3 pending appointments. I mean, you're getting closer and closer to your Bahamas vacation, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there as well. Lucy, hey Dorel. I feel like I just saw you like not an hour ago. But welcome back. It's good to have you on our call, and I'll be quick because I know you also have calls that you're ready to do as well. Hey Dana, how are you? Welcome to our call. So I usually give it like 10 to 15 minutes at the beginning to share our wins for the week, but I'm gonna move on because I do have quite a bit that I would like to share with you, and I do lost you for a second there. So first I want to start off with the what's new for campaign 4. So we're getting into campaign 4, and what I'm realizing over the next few campaigns, we have quite a few product launches. We have Nurtura FX that's coming out in campaign 4. We have Little Red Dress. It just came out. I have a sample here, but how many people have tried Little Red Dress? Have you liked the fragrance? What do you guys think about it so far? Hey, Jasudra and Anitra. Hey guys, welcome. I'm actually just unboxing this. This is my fragrance because I always get one for me that I share with my customers and end up keeping for myself. But this is my demo, and I was a big fan of Little Black Dress. I love the bottle. I love how elegant. Torrell says she didn't like it. Okay, can I get a why? Not just the I didn't like it. But this is Little Red Dress. So as you know, we have the Little Black Dress fragrance, and this is the runner-up. We're also coming out with another addition to the Today, Tomorrow, Always. It's now Today, Tomorrow, Always, Amore, Absolute, everything. But we're getting pretty big on the sequels here. But this is the Little Red Dress. I've smelt it, but I haven't worn it, so I don't know how it reacts to my body. But I'm the bottle lover. One of these days I'll take a picture of my fragrance mantle. They're not back there, but I like the different fragrances. You see how this is kind of concave? No, convex. But I liked it. Dorel, why didn't you like? I know you didn't like the smell, but what about it? Didn't you like? Thanks, Jasudra. You know it's Avon. Milagro said she loved it. Tiffany said she loved it. I like it. It's it reminds me of something else, but I can't put my finger on it. Oh, raspberries. Okay. It's the rose that's kind of familiar. This is a fragrance I think my mom would like. She likes the floral fragrances. I'm more of a musky, woodsy person, but that's the Little Red Dress fragrance. And this is the Nurtura FX. I don't have any of these yet, but I'm waiting to get some of the full-size products in the samples. But this is new because this is a product. They're revamping our, I guess what used to be our Solutions line. That it's now becoming Nurtura FX. And this item has the chia seeds in it. So for those of you with customers who like natural products, they're into, you know, the nature and the organics, this will be a great thing for you to share with them. But let me tell you real quick what stood out for me. As soon as I opened the book, one of the things that I saw immediately was this. It's backwards for you, so I'll read it. It says, results in 1 day. How many times do you get customers who are using a product, they buy it, they come back to you the next day, I didn't see anything. And you're like, okay, it's not a magic pill. It's not Jack and the Beanstalk, magic beans. It takes some time to work for you to see results. So when I saw this and said that you start to see results in 1 day, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. So for the customers you have who are those quick, fast, and in a hurry people, this is something that you can let them sample and let them compare, and they should be seeing results right away. So it'll be easier for you to share it with it. But the other thing that I noticed was that it is safe for people who have sensitive skin. So the formula is gentle and safe for sensitive skin people. So it's good for you to sample. It comes with one of these charts. You guys know I always say clip it out and save it, but it gives you the product guide so you can see what your customers' needs are, and then you can easily match them to the product. Last call I was mentioning to you that you should save those, and I didn't have them with me, but I wanted to show you what I was working on over Christmas break. I have a binder that I use when I'm out in the field so that when I'm prospecting and talking to people, instead of looking all over the place, I have some key pointers in these little plastic, I don't know what you call them. I call them sleeves. But I started to go through all the what's new, and I'm gonna be a little vain here, but for memoir's sake, I've been saving all the little clippings of me. Yes, that's the vanity speaking. But I've also been saving all the tools for the team. So I don't know if you guys still do this. Does anybody still keep a photo album? I'm one of those people. So I have like the little clippings of stuff that I've been able to do, and I have, anybody remember this? It's been saved. So that's going to be going in my photo album. But what I do is I try to keep, whenever Avon comes out with a new product, they tend to give you some information on some of these pages of the what's new. So I actually cut out the entire page and I save it in a sleeve. So, you know, if I'm talking to a customer about mascara, I can speak to her about what her needs are. Does she like volume, or is it more, is she more a person who's interested in length? So I keep this in the binder. This for events. These are tips for having a makeup party. So I can either use these for my own party, or I could use it as a training tool when I'm working with my team. You know how it is. Sometimes you meet with your team on the fly. Instead of me having to search for all the incentives, this was the Rise Up incentive in English and in Spanish, I keep it in the sleeve so that I can just pull it out and talk it over with them. So when I have events with my team, I just bring the entire binder, and it has a section for customer products, those little product innovations, new products, what the benefits are. And you just want to keep those for reference, because a lot of times they have like expert tips, uses, benefits, so that when you're talking to a customer and you're talking about her needs, sometimes it's not as detailed in the brochure, but if you hold on to these when it launches, then you can kind of study it yourself. So if you're brand new and you're getting to know all the products, or even if you're an old rep like me who's been around for a while, Avon is always coming out with great new products. This will allow you to know, will help you to know what they're for, how to use it, and what customer to recommend it to. So I just take an X-Acto blade and slice down the side of the What's New book. So like for this book, I would just slice that out, and then this guy is going in a sleeve. So use your tools. Don't just take out your What's New books and toss them. They actually are chock full of great tips and ideas, Q&A, and you know, you don't just want to look over them. It might be helpful for you to save them for a while. And of course, another great tool for you guys, a bunch of samples are coming out. So you can purchase a sample of the Natural Effects so that your customers can try it, and because they will see results right away, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to boost your sales. The Nurture Effects line and what used to be the Solutions line, I liked, because sometimes you get a customer who it might be afraid to, or incapable of purchasing the new products because they are a little bit pricey, but they work faster. So the trade-off for speed doesn't necessarily have to be quality. They can get good products at a great price. These Nurture Effects are going to be $14.99 each versus maybe the $24-$39 a new product. So you can still take care of your customer needs with a price that's still going to be in her budget, and it covers different ages. So if anti-aging isn't her main concern, like for me when I first started, I always say using the new, even though I still used it because I wanted to know what it smelled like and how it worked and what it felt like. But the new, I couldn't use the new and say, yeah, it got rid of all of my wrinkles because I was 17 and I didn't have any. But I could use the other lines that Avon had and test them out, because I do have dry skin and I do have oily skin, so my skin is a combination, so I could use the other products and review them for my customers. So hey Sophia, thank you for joining. The next thing that I wanted to point out, I always point it out, is the fashion. You guys know I'm big on Avon fashion because it's wearable. So if you have sensitive skin, if you're hyperallergenic, if you don't like to put anything on your face, if you don't like to wear jewelry, if you don't like to comb and wash your hair and wear deodorant, whatever it is, then maybe you like to wear clothing. Just maybe, I don't know. But Avon has some really fun fashion that's coming out. It's really trendy. And I'm really liking the items that they're coming out with, not only from Mark, but the Avon Signature Collection. I really feel like over the years, the Signature Collection has caught up with the Mark line, and it's just as trendy. So here are some pieces for the Signature Collection. I am all about flats, so look for me with these guys. The Cushion Walk Floral Print Felicity Flat with the F words, trying to get me tongue-tied. And last but not least, the jewelry. I actually, this little, I don't know, snippet in the What's New, it actually came in our representative news as well. It kind of caught my attention because this guy, is a designer, and as you guys know, I'm an architectural designer. So he was actually designing wood carvings and restoring churches and buildings out of state, I mean in his country, in his homeland, which is the Ukraine, and he kind of has put his design skills into designing Avon jewelry. So I thought that was kind of cool, just to see how these pieces are coming out, because I mean I'm a big jewelry lover, if you can't tell. But to see that, you know, a designer like me is designing the jewelry gives me hope. So if I ever decide to quit my day job and do Avon full time, maybe I could design Avon jewelry. And there's me again. So be sure to watch your Campaign Central. I'm not in it this month, but they do really give great tips on some ideas about the products that are being featured in the upcoming campaign. So make sure you're watching your Campaign Central and stay on top of that, because they're really going to give you great tips for what's coming out. So Lucy says she just did a video about the Avon vitamin C and she loves it. I love it too. I love that it repairs your skin. A lot of people don't realize that it repairs the sun damage. So it's something that you want to use, and it's an oil, but it's great. Like I said, I have oily skin, but when I use the vitamin C at night, and I probably should do a video too. Great job on doing the video, Miss Lucy. We need more YouTube videos out there, guys. But it really does work well on your skin, and it doesn't make your skin greasy in the morning. It just absorbs very well. So you guys keep going with your wins for the week. I'll still be here for another half an hour, and I do want to know what you guys are celebrating. And as I said, we're going to be tracking with each other for the Bahamas incentive, so let me know how you're doing. This weekend I had 2 new representatives join the team, maybe more than that, I have to check, but 2 that I was able to speak to and follow up with, and there were more people that joined that my team members brought into our Avon family. So it's great to see that a lot of reps are getting on board with this and getting excited about this Bahamas incentive. So let's see. So what's so great about the Bahamas incentive? Hey Susan. So one of the things that I was thinking about as I was preparing for today's stream was that this is going to be a great opportunity for every rep. This is not just for existing leaders. This is not just for top sellers or top recruiters. This is something that if you join tomorrow, you can start tracking for. And we keep saying it's very doable. It's something that any representative can come on and do. So I was excited about that because it gives everyone an equal opportunity to go for this. And as I said in the last call, I really like you do, you get, because it's not a lottery. If you accomplish what you set out to do, then you'll meet this goal. The other thing that I like is that people are going to discover what they're capable of with this incentive. They're going to see that if they set their minds to things, they can get it done. So I feel like we're gonna have a lot of representatives who maybe never earned a trip before or never won an incentive, and this is gonna be the first incentive that they won, and it's gonna be super motivating to them. Because I remember when I think my first incentive was our VIP incentive, which I'm going to talk about a little more. It was our recruiting 30 in 30 days incentive, and then doing that incentive, that was the first one I've ever done. Never had recruited so many people in such a short time. I wasn't a big recruiter at the time. I think I was a unit leader. So I was recruiting, but I wasn't recruiting that intensely. And I'd never done anything like that. I didn't have any frame of reference. But that was the first incentives that I really said, you know, I really want to earn this. And I set out to do it. And I did. And after that, Avon actually, they did that VIP incentive again. And then Avon had the iPad incentive. No, the Keurig incentive. I was able to earn that. They had the iPad incentive and the 46-inch TV incentive. And it was kind of like back to back. And I feel like if I hadn't kind of proved to myself that I could do it when we did the VIP incentive, I may not have gone for those incentives. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But I feel like a lot of people are going to just see that they can do a lot more than they realize they could do. And the third thing that I think people are going to realize is that with this incentive, it's going to be a life changer. There are people who maybe they never traveled before, like me 2 months ago. They're going to be people who maybe they can't take a vacation like this, whether it's financial or they just don't have it in the budget, or they have the money but the money is allocated towards other things. Maybe they just haven't had it in mind to treat themselves, so they haven't gone on a trip like this before. So this is going to be their opportunity to do something different. They're going to be people who maybe they've never earned this level of recognition from Avon. Not all of us earn the President's Recognition Program trips that Avon gives every year to awesome places that I'm dying to earn. But there are representatives who are at a certain sales level and a certain leadership level who earn that trip, some of them for themselves and a guest, every single year. But there are others of us who maybe aren't at that level with our businesses yet. Keyword being yet, but we plan to get there. Maybe we're not there yet, but this is going to be a chance for us to experience what it is to be taken out, wine and dined and treated by our Avon. I joke with my friends because we're always talking about the Avon versus architecture in my life, the career versus like the side job. And we have a running joke where Avon is like my husband, the really strict, no nonsense kind of husband, and then the Avon business is like the side guy who's kind of just cool. He's like the handsome gardener. So we joke like I'm cheating on my career with the Avon business. So now that handsome gardener gets to take you out on a expensive international vacation, right? I'm so fired. But I think that this is going to be such a life changer for people in those respects. And the thing I wanted to be transparent with you guys about was, before I was this person that you now know, I still feel like I'm, you know, I still internally struggle with this. But before this stuff started happening in my life, which was just like 3 months ago, I never thought that this was the kind of thing that can happen to me. I never thought that I would earn those trips. I remember when I first signed up, and my district manager was the one who did the appointment. No, my district assistant did the appointment, and she said to me, you know, you're going through, back then we had a binder, but she's going through the binder, and she got to the section about the President's Recognition Program, and she started talking about $10,000 in sales. I was like, no. Hold on. You just pause right there. Let's just skip that whole section, because $10,000, I'm just getting started. I don't really know how this thing works. Let's just skip that part. And she insisted on explaining it to me, and I kind of just kept it in the back of my head that it was there, but I could never see myself doing those things. And like I said, I've said in previous calls, I took myself out of the running. I just didn't consider it a possibility for me. So there are going to be those of you out there who are sort of feeling that way, and I want to kind of share my past experiences to be a guide, some motivation, some encouragement for you guys who who might be feeling the same way. And for those of you who are leaders, for you when you're reaching out to your team, because I want you to keep an open mind, because our tendency is going to be to take out our downline and say, okay, who are our heavy hitters? Who are the ones at the top sales? Who are the ones who are already recruiting? And they're going to be some other people in the team that I really want you to reach out to include because they might be like I was. So, sorry. So a few years ago, I don't know, I must have been maybe 22, no, maybe 24, 25. I actually had a person in a position of power, I guess you could say, who said to me that I wasn't cut out to be a leader in Avon. I laugh about it now, but at the time I was devastated. I was really hurt because I think I was at AUL at the time. But I was working 2 jobs part-time, doing my Avon business on the side. I think I had just graduated. It was either graduation year or the year after, I can't remember. But I remember being on the phone with her, and she was telling me that I wasn't cut out to be a leader, that this wasn't going to be good for me. I wasn't going to do well in the business as a leader, and she was going to recommend that I be removed as a leader. Now let me tell you why before you guys have heart attacks. Because the reason why was because at the time we had what we have now as Vibe. Back then it was a similar what we have now as Alma. Back then it was a similar situation where leads would come in and you would have to reach out to the leads and contact them. But you couldn't, at that time, everyone couldn't buy leads. So if you were earning leads, it was because you were recruiting. And if you're a good recruiter, then Avon would put you into like a lottery. Not so much lottery, but like a spin cycle, as I call it. They'd spin the wheel and pick out a person and go next, and just kind of go around. And if you were one of the people in that group, then you got a lead as it went around. So if there were 5 people in our district who could earn leads, they would do person number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go around and come back. Anitra, don't ask. I'm sure they're still around, but so the reason that we had a problem was because, as I said, I was working, and if I got a lead that came in at 10 a.m., I couldn't call that person right away. I would have to wait until 1 o'clock, which was my lunch break, to call. So her issue was that I was taking too long to call the leads. So stuff happened, and someone else was calling the leads and signing them up. So it was looking like I wasn't signing up my leads. But when I called them, they would already have appointments, and all kinds of craziness was happening. But she decided that I wasn't fit for this. I wasn't cut out for this. I wasn't going to be a good leader. And I remember being on the phone with her, and I remember thinking, at the time I was President's Club. I was at AUL, which is equivalent to today's probably Silver Ambassador. I think between Silver and Gold Ambassador, you had to have no, actually, I think I was ambassador, but on my way to unit leader. My team, I think I had just lost one of my unit leaders, so I was going down back to unit leader, which was maybe having the minimum for unit leader was like 5 people on your team, but I know I had more than that because I had been an advanced leader. But I remember being devastated and just thinking, I was really upset about it because I love Avon. I've always loved Avon. And I had been building my team with the hopes of building it up. Okay, so Milagro says back then it was the equivalent of being a gold ambassador now. So to have this person, to come so far in this business and with my team building, to have someone tell me, someone in a position of authority that I felt knew what they were talking about, for them to tell me this, I felt like, they must be right. Maybe I'm just not. And I wasn't going to quit, but I was just like, okay, well, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. I'm just done. I'm not going to fight with people. I'm not going to keep going around with this thing because it was just sucky. And one of the main factors. I mean, I was still attending meetings. If there was a meeting in the evening that I can get to, I was there. If it was on a Saturday, I was there. I didn't drive. I would jump on the train. And those of you from New York know how Queens is. Getting to somewhere in Brooklyn from Queens is sometimes a bus to 2 trains. So I hoofed it to get to meetings whenever I could. And so I was involved and I was trying. So to have someone tell me that it wasn't going to work, I was like, you know what? They know better. Little did I know at the time. But what kept me going was actually the people that I had on my team. I had recruited an awesome group of people, and a lot of them are still members of my team right now. I had recruited them, and when I sign up a person, I let them know that I'm going to be there to train them. Hey, Kathleen. I let them know that I'm going to be there to train them. I'm going to work with them. I'm going to teach them everything I know, and I'm going to be their coach. And because I had made that promise to my team members, I felt that I was obligated. I didn't want to let them down. I had made a promise, and I intended to keep it. So I wanted to stick it out with those people. So I said, you know what? I'm going to stay here as long as my team is here. I'm going to stick around with them. If they close their accounts and they all fall off, then I'll close my business. But I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't, the person I am now who's doing YouTube videos and going out and having recruiting events and having parties every weekend. I was, not that I was one foot in the door and one foot out, but I just wasn't all in. It was there and I was doing it. I still have my customers, place my orders, but I felt really discouraged from that. And then on the flip side, so there's an upside to this. I met a person. Now, I'm not going to call the other person's name, but I'm going to call this person's name. But I met a division manager, Sylvia Marone. He's still around. He's on Facebook. Friend him. He's a cool guy. Stalk him. He's going to get a flood of friends. But I met Sylvia Marone. And at the time, at that point, I had lost my ambassador title. So I was back down to unit leader. So I went from being like a gold ambassador to maybe an ambassador. And I remember I was at this event. It was one of our President's Recognition dinners. And I didn't have a car at the time. My district manager was kind enough to drop me home on her way home. But the managers would meet after our events to, hash over and do their planning. So I would have to wait for her. So at one of these meetings, I was outside just trying my best to blend into the couch and disappear like I wasn't there. I didn't want to interfere because, I was just waiting for a ride home. And I remember Sylvia Marone, the division manager, came out and he sat down next to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. What do I do? And he's like, do you need water? Are you okay? He went away. He's like, here, have water. And I'm just like, why is he talking to me? And he's like, so what did you think about the meeting? And I don't really remember what I said because sometimes when you're in those situations, your brain is just like, okay, sound intelligent and sound eloquent and try to answer responsibly and, give good feedback. But basically what came out of my mouth was, why are you asking me? I'm a unit leader. Why does my opinion matter? I'm like, there are a whole bunch of seniors and presidents. I think I was President's Club. I managed to keep my President's Club consecutively every year. So I was still President's Club. But I remember just feeling like, why does this man care what my opinion is? And I don't remember what I said exactly, but I remember the look on his face. It was like, what? And he just kind of paused for a little what? And he said to me, it doesn't matter what level you are. Your opinion is important. You matter, and your opinion matters to me. And shoot. I just felt it was one of the first times that how do we pause Facebook Live? It was just one of the first times that I felt within that structural system that I mattered. I was always, yes, unit leader. I felt low. I felt, stop it, Anitra. I always felt like, there are other people up there who you ask how stuff works. And I still kind of struggle with this a little. Me and Millie talk about it all the time. Why do people want to know what I have to share? But that was the start of realizing that my story was important and my input was important. And, you know, just these two people, thanks, Millie, but having these two people, I mean, if I had given up after hearing that first person, I wouldn't have gotten to do all the amazing things that I did now. And this pin, I actually found it today when I was trying to get our my little sheets, but I keep all my Avon pins, and I was going through the box and I came across this pin. It's the VIP pin. Sylvia was the one who did that 30 and 30 days incentive, and when we earned it, he gave us little VIP pins. So I always share with you guys how I used to have the 10 on my desk. It fell down at the back, just to remind yourself that, you know, whatever is happening out there in the world, you're still a 10. And I said, you know what, I really have to pull out my VIP pin every once in a while to just remind myself that it's not what you have accomplished, but it's just who you are, and you are important. And I just remember sitting on that couch and kind of like stepping out and watching the whole situation, because I remember thinking, just make yourself small and try not to interfere in the things that were going around you. You know, I wasn't the person who was standing up and out going like, hey, how are you? Like the one I am now. I just wanted to melt into something tiny, and I'll be honest with you, it still happens. Sorry, side note, but it's like, have you ever had those outer body experiences where you answer and you say something and it's like you kind of step away from yourself and like, what did you just say? But that moment with Sylvia was one of those moments where I remember kind of stepping outside of myself and saying, why didn't you just say the event was nice? And just let it go and keep the conversation going. Why would you tell him? Why would you ask him why your opinion mattered? And as a side note, to tell you that this still happens, I remember the first time I met Molly Bibb was at a Rep Fest conference, and you know, I introduced myself, and she's such an awesome person, but she was like, yeah, I've seen you on the Onward group, you know, I recognize your name. The second time was at the Rep Fest conference where they aired our My Beautiful Stories video. And after, I ran into her and Lee, and me being the dodo I am, went up to her like, hi Molly Bibb, I am Georgiana Haynes. Embarrassing. And I turned to Lee like, it's me, Georgiana. And I'm just like, you idiot, your giant face was just on the screen at Rep Fest. They know who you are. Why are you introducing yourself? But it's just that mentality that I have to struggle with. So I had hoped Molly didn't notice, but if she ever watches this video, then she'll know that this is one of those moments where I kind of just stepped out of my body like, why would you reintroduce yourself and say your name again? They just heard your name. But anyway, so look, here's the thing. Those of you who are leaders, acknowledge everyone on your team, because like Sylvia said, it's not really what they've accomplished, it's who they are, and they are important. And I want you guys all to remember that for yourselves as well. And if you feel like I do, like the incentives and the trips and the meetings and the rewards aren't for you, you're gonna have to bust yourself out of that, because you won't know it until you start to do it, which is like the highlight, underline, bold print that I had written here. You can accomplish all of these things. Don't let people tell you you can't, that you're not good enough, that you'll never be, that you won't be, because like Anitra said, I mean, there is so much that you can accomplish that other people are going to shut you down for, but you really have to hold on to the positive stuff, the words and encouragement from the people who actually know what they're talking about, because they can sometimes see something in you that you may not even be able to see in yourself. And you need to hold on to those things, because they can be for you. I am that girl, you know, honest to goodness, this is just me, but that stuff does happen. This stuff can be for you. You can accomplish stuff that you haven't accomplished before, but you really have to set your mind to doing it. So 2 things I want you to remember before we wrap up this call, or I start crying again, is that you have to, you know, when you watch Star Wars and Yoda says there's no try, just do. There's some truth in that, and not just because I'm a nerd, but you have to really do stuff. So like with this incentive, you have to sit out with the mindset that you're going to do it. No exceptions, no excuses. You're either going to do it or you're not. Because if you try, yes, if you try, you'll get closer to your goal, but you may not get your goal. You need to eliminate that may not, that maybe. You need to just go for the goal. Yes, you may not hit it, you may come close, you may fall short, whatever. But if you're aiming for it, the chances of you getting towards it are better. If you start planting those seeds of excuses of, I'm gonna try, and I know Millie's probably like, I tell you this all the time, because I say it too, and I have to catch myself when I'm saying it. So this is just as much me telling you as it is me telling me. But you have to set your mind on doing it. And just tell yourself there is no try, just do. Because when you do it, that is when you're gonna say, I could do it. I did it. I didn't realize this was possible, but look, I did it. If you're trying it, then yeah, you know, you're trying it. That's great. But it's doing it that is going to get you, doing it and getting it done and having it done is going to get to the point where you could say, okay, I did it. Yeah, I earned the 30 and 30 trip. I earned the Keurig. I earned the TV. And these are things that for a long time I didn't want to even talk about much because I felt like it was bragging. And nobody wants to be a braggart, but at the same time, I share this with you guys because I want you to see that I'm no different from you. I maybe a lot of you might be watching this and saying, oh my gosh, that's me. Because I know when I watch a lot of the leaders, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's me. When Margot says she's shy, I'm like, okay, yes. So I'm sharing this to encourage someone so you can see where I came from and what I've been able to accomplish. The second thing I want you to think of is that you don't know what you're capable of until you do it. So until it's done, you can't look back and say, wow, I did that. You have to do it. So start doing stuff. This incentive, this Bahamas vacation like a boss incentive is your chance to prove to yourself and to all the naysayers and all the people who are telling you that you can't, but you can't say that until you actually do it. So it's kind of like a catch-22. So just start believing that you can. I believe in the fact that you can, and that's why I'm sharing all of this stuff, because I wouldn't waste time if I didn't think you were capable of doing more than other people are telling you. And I wouldn't go through all the trouble of having to dig up stuff I don't want to talk about if I didn't think it was going to encourage you and motivate and maybe inspire someone out there. So really just do it, guys. Sit out there, set up to get your 7 recruits, find 7 other people, help them find the joy and success that's in this business, that you found in this business, and show them how to place their orders, show them the website, show them how to talk to people, whatever you can. But just do it because you can, and let that be reason enough. What more do you need, right? So that's my message for today. Let's see what you guys got. Let's see if we have any more success and celebration here. Thanks, Milagros. Thanks, Kathleen. It's not easy. It's sucky, but you see how much I love you guys. I do it for you. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, Kathleen says every member and every Avon helper is important. Yes, the Avon helpers. Thank you, Kathleen. We forget about the Avon helpers, but we wouldn't be where we were without their help. And I love my helpers. They are awesome, amazing women. Renee says her and her Avon mom worked on their dream boards yesterday, and this call brought things into light. So that's awesome, Renee. Yeah, like Jessica had said in the beginning of the call, sometimes you have to evaluate where you are, and I do it often. That's kind of been my struggle this year, to stop focusing so much on what I don't have and celebrate the things that I do have, because, well, that's for another call, but it's easy to get overwhelmed and frustrated when you're not growing as fast as you want to, or seeing the success that you want to see right away. But you do have to look back at where you were and where you've come from and how far you've come. And I don't care if you've even started. The fact that you took the opportunity to take that first step to start something new. It can be scary to start something new. And I know a lot of people, with their finger on that click button, like, should I spend the $25? Maybe money is tight, whatever it is, but it's kind of like, this is a big step. Should I do it? The fact that you're doing it and you're getting it done, just even starting the business, opening the kit, starting to talk to people, watching these videos so that you can learn, it's an accomplishment. You should pat yourself on the back and, let yourself know that you're better off today and you're building a better, stronger future for tomorrow, for yourself, for your family, for your legacy than, you were not doing anything the day before. So, Yeah, Chris says a good support system helps. It is important. And that's one of the reasons why I love our Facebook groups. That's why I think it's so important for us to share our accomplishments and our achievements and just as much as our obstacles on, safe areas like this call, in the chat box, in the different various Facebook groups where we can share. Because as representatives, we get on there and encourage each other. I love to see a representative come on with an issue, and not the fact that they have an issue. I love the fact that they share the issue, and other people, random people, other reps just kind of jump in and help. And it's one of the reasons that I do this call, because I've learned so much from other people, and I've had strangers encourage me and keep me going. And it was during that dark time where I was trying to figure out if this is something that I want to stick with, because at the time I believed that it wasn't going to work. Other people came into my life and helped me find other ways to work my business, other ways to be efficient, and other ways to continue to grow despite the negativity that was in my ear. So yeah, Chris, support system is super important. And I'm thankful for you guys and for all the positive stuff that you share and the support system that we have, Milagros and all the leaders that share stuff. So that's great. So okay, that's why I like the Bahamas incentive. So yeah, I think this is just going to be great, and I can't wait to hear. I know we're going to see some great stories about people who are taking their first Avon trip. This is going to be, for me, even though I went to Tahiti, this is going to be the first trip that I've won as an incentive. Look at me talking like I've already won it. Talk about seizing the opportunity. But for me, this will also be the first trip earned through an incentive for me as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting you guys out there, and hearing your stories, and meeting those of you who are taking your first Avon trip. And I hope that a lot of you are going for the part where you get to bring a guest, because sometimes I've heard so many stories about people who have brought a guest and it just kind of opened that guest's eyes. So bring your spouse, bring your kids, bring your family, bring your bestie, and just let them see what the possibilities are with Avon. And just be prepared to have your mind blown, because no one treats you like Avon. All right, guys. So yes, I'm claiming it, right? Just put that out there. Now that I've said it, I have to do it, because you guys are all going to come back to this video like, Georgiana, we have a problem, right? But that's also good too, because we keep each other accountable. So all of you guys, I'm going to be checking for your names to make sure you earn it too. But I'm really looking forward to this trip, and I'm looking forward to even more than the trip itself, even though I want to see that beach and those clear blue skies. Even more than that, I'm looking forward to hearing the stories of people whose lives were changed from that trip. I'm pretty sure when Silvio did this VIP incentive, he didn't realize that it was going to have such a giant impact on my life. And when Avon did the iPad and TV and all these other incentives, I'm sure they don't expect that. But I'm expecting it from this trip. So looking forward to hearing from you guys again next week. I want to see more wins. I want to see people tracking for their Bahamas trip. I want to see people running the numbers of recruits and for orders placed. And I want to hear people titling and leveling up and earning that $1,000 point bonus. And just continuing to be awesome like you guys are. So have a great evening, everyone. I'll see you next week. Bye.